Right. I'm gonna sit here for like 2 minutes and hope for fuck's sake it works. I'm just gonna dick around on my phone. Not gonna start an Instagram stream until the bloody actual stream becomes fucking reliable, because right now I've had the past half an hour trying to make things work. I wanna die. $50. Let's watch my bitrate die, shall I? Currently on a consistent 300-400, but I'm sure that's going to change any second. This is when I just insert like Kid Anakin just screaming it's working, but I'm gonna give it at least 2 minutes, maybe longer, probably longer. Ooh, ear rape. Yeah, probably longer, to be honest. Does it want to work? For once in your bloody life, machine, please work. Even if it's not my computer that's the problem, it's my bloody Wi-Fi. Oh, hello, Isaac. At the moment, I'm waiting for my stream to be reliable because I've spent the past half an hour trying to get it to work, but for the rest of it, I'm going to be showcasing music if it decides to fucking work. I'm still not trusting it because we've been going for 2 minutes 20, which is better than usual, but it was stopping at like 12 seconds before, and yeah, I'm quite skeptical. Well, maybe you can bang out to my tunes while you're in the gym, Mr. Bayless, as I finish my iron brew. Oh man, iron brew's great. Gotta love it. Okay, once we hit the 3-minute mark, I'm going to start again. No, Isaac, it's not ASMR. As I say, this is going to be a music stream, but yeah, I suppose you are getting some table ASMR because I'm too cheap to buy a proper shock mount. So I've just got some hairbands because my microphone doesn't fit my boom arm even. It's great, I know. Pure genius, like audiophile approved setup. But yeah. Okay, I think I'm comfortable streaming to YouTube, not streaming to Instagram now to let everyone know it's working. Okay. Just gonna keep the live going. Right, yes. Instagram humans. My live stream's working at last. Get your ass on the YouTube channel. I'm just going to be sticking around here until I see other people arrive on YouTube. But yeah, it's working, and it's been working for the past 5 minutes or so. I've had to absolutely bottleneck the hell out of the bitrate and just hope for the best. I did also change the encoder, and I think that might have been it. I've had to change it to X264, and now it's doing okay. Not sure what it was on before, but it didn't seem to want to work, so it's working now. It's working now. Oi oi Childs, hello. Did I just say Childs? That's going to be your name from now on, Charlie. There's the remnant of my Scotch and ale. No, not ale. Scotch and ale. No, Scotch and iron brew. Pure Scottish drink, that one. But yeah. just gonna get this shite rolling. And, yeah, I'm probably gonna end this Instagram stream. Yeah, sorry, YouTube people. Just message a few people on Instagram to give them a kick up the arse to come on stream. And then, boom, we'll be rolling. Cool. See you, Charles. Right. Just give me a sec. And I will start this over. Yeah, I have been sent this magnificent photo, if you can see it, which you probably can't. Yeah, you can't see it. But trust me, it's a magnificent photo. Thank you, Harry. I'm slightly less depressed now that my stream's actually working. Yay! Okay. Who else do I message? Sure, why not? Send humans on this stream. Been going for 7 minutes and the stream still hasn't died. Amazing. Right. Just gonna message one more person and then we're gonna hop to it. If you really want me to Cossack dance, mate, I'll do that after the stream, alright? If you really want that, stick around for me tunes and you'll get your Cossack dancing. Right. The summer nights. Oh well, oh well, oh well. Okay. Right. It's time to get rolling. I will have some more energy in me now. Because it's all been sucked out of me from this not fucking working. But we are here and we move. So, the first tune is called Childhood's End. If anyone was around from when I started the stream, then you'll have heard the majority of it. But anyways, we're gonna blast that banger. Just gonna get it out now. Right, so that was track 1. Now, there are a few things I want to point out about that one. The most obvious being the vocals are only in one verse. In fact, they're going to be the only vocals on this one stream because, as I say, I'm just debuting the material rather than... This isn't a formal release and this isn't anything in its finished state or necessarily the recordings I'm even going to use when I officially, release it. But I do want to generate some kind of anticipation for the songs and also just want to show people that it's my college coursework. Shh. But it's all of the above, really. And yeah, honestly, they've been a lot of fun to write. Not virtually, all of them have time changes. That one went from, I think, 4/4. I think there was a bar of 2/4 in there. There was a good bit of pesky 5/4, 6/4, and the rest was 4/4. Fun proggy stuff, but nothing too mental in that one. Yeah, the guitar solo took me a few takes just because it was in a weird mode. Thank you, Millie. I appreciate that. And thank you, Harry. Isaac, I do have me scotch here, and there is beer downstairs if I really want it, but to be honest, probably just have a bit of scotch at the end and leave it at that. I'm not going to get pissed when it's my college coursework, quite frankly. But yeah, that was a fun one. I'd say that's maybe the least refined from a songwriting perspective, although there are obviously some subtleties, but that was one of the first songs, in fact that was the first song in that kind of style that I ever finished, and I was going to have it a lot longer, but I just realised that there was a natural endpoint where I put it on the last verse. It's got a sort of a sandwich structure, because you've got your intro, but then you got your verse, then you've got all the shite in between, and then you've got another verse, and that's where it ends. There's a few things I'm not happy with mix-wise, which is why I'm probably not going to use these actual recordings for anything outside of college coursework and this stream. But it's a lot of fun to just show people, and I like to think there's a decent tune underneath there. By that I mean banger, not melody. There's basically none with regards to that, because it's death metal. Next one's going to be a little bit less death metal, a bit more thrashy, a bit more groovy, but most importantly, it features a guitar solo from the absolute beast himself, Blake Hibbard. If you don't know who that guy is, go follow his Instagram right now. He put his last name first because he's an interesting human. I'm kidding. He's great. He's fucking great. Best guitarist I've ever met, easily. And yeah, I'm really happy he agreed to solo on this one. In fact, I'll probably just use his solo on the actual thing, regardless of whether I use any of the actual recordings or not. As in any of my recordings, because this solo just goes hard. Right, this one, I haven't really settled on a name for it. I call it Call of the Wild just because I was going to nick Oscar Wilde poems for the lyrics because I was feeling lazy. I'm probably not going to do that now. But here is the tune itself. I'm just going to go to open file, I think, and bring it out. If I can find it. Yeah, here it is. So that fucking solo was killer, and yeah, big up Blake, because that man is a beast. Not gonna lie, I should have mixed that better, because I can just. We should hear that man's figure work more, and yeah, I buried it maybe a bit more than I meant to. But yeah, as I say, absolutely beastly solo. I tried to do it myself. I couldn't. Right, I had several takes and I just couldn't come up with anything that works. Message him. I was like, dude, deadline's tomorrow. And he just whips it out like it's nothing. It's just absolute legend. Love him, honestly. And also, Unburia, big up that band as well, because holy shit, best band in Somerset, and also just they're probably going to be playing Bloodstock this year. They better fucking play Bloodstock this year. They're in the Metal to the Masses final. And, yeah. I wish them luck because they are sick. But yeah, that's also many people's favourite songs of the 3 that I'm going to show you today. I think it's because it's very Machine Head, and Machine Head's quite a nice chunky sound that any metalhead can relate to. And I was trying to go for that sort of vibe, nice and fast, nice and thrashy, with a few grooves and a groovy section at 98 BPM in the middle, obviously, which is what I had Mr. Hibbard solo over, and my word, did he make a cracking job. But yeah, there's a little sneaky 7/8 time change in there. I quite like it. Some of the program drums do annoy me, and as I say, that's why this isn't a final release, because it got program drums. And yes, Barrier for Bloodstock, 100%. I second that. I'm gonna go this year as I did last year, and if they're not in the artist camp, I am gonna go straight to Vicky Hungerford, and I don't know, I'll just threaten to cut off the supply of Hobgoblin or something until they get Unbearer on stage. Because, yeah, it would just be sick. But yeah, just the whole band, they're on point. One of, if not the tightest band in the Southwest. Maybe in the entire South. I haven't seen many of the northern bands. The only other band who are on a, comparable level, dare I say, it's Tortured Demon, because they're sick, but whose shirts I'm repping, by the way. But yeah, big up Unbury, because they're fucking awesome. Right, last song has like 20, I think it's got 24 time changes in there, because I accidentally added one when I cut out slightly less of a section than I meant to, which resulted in a happy accident of a bar of 5/4, but we move. Yeah, this one is called Monstrosity. But yeah, that was the last tune. That was called Monstrosity, or at least I'm keeping it that way for now. I rather like the main riff. It's quite simple, quite groovy, but it's in 5/4, which gives it a little bit of an extra kick at the end of each bar. Mr. Moody, I'm not going to repeat the exact word for hello you said, ere I get cancelled, but hello. But yeah, that one had about 24 time signature changes in it, roughly. One of which was accidental. My favourite is a little cheeky bar of 13/16 after my 12/8 section, which is quite nice. The aforementioned 12/8 section actually is quite groovy and sounds like Obeth, and yeah, I like it quite a bit. I know, Harry, spicy meatball. Yeah. Alas, I am out of tunes to show you for now. Thank you, Millie. I appreciate that. I agree, it was smexy. Cheers, Mr. Metalhead. I'm going to guess that that's probably Ben, but I'm not sure. Yeah. Before I end the stream, does anyone have any questions? I'm just going to sit here and drink scotch while I wait for a question. Someone ask a question, please. I don't want to get pissed. You're not asking questions, so I get pissed, aren't you? Fuck's sake. Well, gotta say, this is the only college coursework I've ever consumed whiskey on. But I will consume the whiskey. Yeah, I could have done with some rocks, but never mind. In which case, farewell. This has been fun once it actually decided to fucking work. And I will be out. Oh, yes, Harry, if you want to ask a question for coursework, yes, please. Might actually make my grade a bit better considering the amount of booze and swearing I've been doing. Just gonna vape from my inhaler, because this is totally what you're supposed to do with medication. Come on, Mr. Howard. No. Alright. Well. Give you 30 seconds, but... Assuming there's no questions coming. Oh, how long did it take to write the CP? Now that is, well... It's 3 songs, it counts as an EP, okay? The Def Leppard EP's 3 songs. It counts. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Harry. You've actually given me some questions. That makes me quite happy. Yeah, so it took me... That's actually quite a difficult question, because some songs I just plucked out a riff. Like, when I bought my PV6505 Plus and got my cabinet and hooked it up for the first time, I just immediately chucked out that riff for Call of the Wild, or whatever you want to call it. I was like, that sounds like Machine Head, but I love it and I'm going to keep it. And yeah, the first song was kind of interesting because it was just before second year of college started, so right in the holidays, and I was just spending about 3-4 consecutive nights just staying out working on it and sleeping during the day. It was my first real attempt at different time signatures, at least first conscious attempt at it, and yeah, I found that it worked quite well and sort of made it sound a lot more like Death, because I found that especially during the Human era, Chuck Schuldiner and I like to throw in a lot of like 5/4 and 6/4 things like that. There's a lot more 6/8 in those later stuff, but 6/4 and 5/4, you'll find those quite a bit in sort of human individual thought patterns, that kind of time. And man, that stuff's sick. Hey, Mitch Price has arrived. Hello. Yes, to his credit, he is the real M. Price as well. But yeah, the second track of this lot, that took me about... Well, I wrote it in about 30 minutes, aside from the main riff, because the main riff I just wrote while I was jamming out on my own with my amplifier. But the rest of the song, I just decided, right, I'm going to finish writing this here and now, because I wanted some original material for the band, which they decided wasn't going to be a good idea for the band. I don't know why, but, you know, we move. And yeah, I kept it, and I'm going to release it myself. Maybe with my own band, maybe on my own. I'll figure that out when it comes to it. This stuff will all be out properly on SoundCloud, and obviously it's on YouTube now. And in fact, the last track probably took me the least amount of time in terms of the period that I spent working on it, because I was just really ill at home, probably with COVID, and I just jammed it out in 3 days. And yeah, I was quite happy with it. There's a few things that need tightening up and can only really be fixed if I re-record it, which I will be doing, I think. I might get a different drummer or something to work on, but sorry, it's the iron brew and the scotch giving me a bit of extra stomach gas. Yeah. So as far as inspirations are concerned, there's a few, some are more obvious than others. I'd say the most blatant on here is quite likely to be Machine Head, just because track 2 sounds a lot like Machine Head. Now, as I've said, there's Death, there's Opeth. Opeth in particular contributed to the sort of latter end of the bridge section after the solo on the first track, which admittedly doesn't have any bass in it right now, because I couldn't get the bass tone quite right. So that's why I want to re-record pretty much all of it. But yeah, that's who inspired that one. The sort of main riff, I want to say that was a bit more entombed. Just old school death metal that harmonized in thirds, and yeah, because of all the blast beats and because of the trem picking, it does sound a bit more like a bit more like black metal, sorry. And honestly, that's not a bad thing. I've just got my death growls over that, and sort of makes up for anything like that sort of slightly blackened left-hand path. And yeah, as I say, you've got my weird time signature stuff, which was sort of inspired by Gojira, because they were the first band that I'd ever encountered that sort of thing on. But also, I'd say quite a bit of that was Death, because I listened to it, and that sort of blast beats in weird time signatures it's a very Death kind of thing to do. Likewise, the harmonizing in fifths almost always makes me think of just Death, because that's something they'd always do. It was never really thirds with them, it's always fifths, intervals of fifths. And yeah, the clean section, I'd say that was maybe slightly more inspired by Opeth, just because, you know, they like to switch to cleans a lot. But the solo over it, again, probably more Death. That song's got quite a lot of Death influence in it. Last song, Gojira for the main riff, easily, just because weird timing. I think I was thinking Bullet for My Valentine with the verses. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, and I might change the verses, but I just wanted to keep things simple and get to a chorus. And the chorus, Machine Head, I'd say for the sort of start of the bridge section, Suffocation, because you've got a really fast 270 BPM 10/4 riff, and yeah, that's quite a Suffocation thing to do. It's harmonized in fifths, and I don't have it going on for too long because I don't want to overwhelm the listener, but I'd say it goes quite well. Then yeah, as I say, 12/8 Opeth. It's got the little solo over it. 1316 just came because I really wanted to put in a weird time signature in there, and anything ending in 16 is just hell. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. There might have been a hint of death. Some of my, I mean, dare I say it, Unburia. Listening to their stuff just makes me think I've got to up my game. And so every time I listen to their stuff, obviously I won't steal any of their riffs, but I just think, how can I make this sort of closer to their level, because they're just on some songwriting crack right now. It's actually insane. Like, they were good before, but since they've reshuffled their lineup and started going tech death, it's sick. So yeah. How did I find producing my own music? Not gonna lie, it's quite a challenge, because to begin with I didn't have an audio interface, but I did have a Boss Katana, and you can use them as an audio interface. For some reason I couldn't get it to work anymore, so eventually I just bought an audio interface, and that carried me through the rest of it. The mixing is hard, especially if you're dealing with comps and different channels and things like that, and you'll hear it, that is just a mess, for lack of a better term. Like, it's cohesive, but there are some very definite comps that you can hear in there, and it's just like, which again is why I'm probably not going to use it. Will there be more in the future? Well, I'm not going to stop being musically active, no. Am I gonna go forth as a solo artist? Probably not, because I like playing live, and I want some kind of band, and it's quite difficult to have session players for technical death metal or thrash metal, things like that, because typically players for that sort of band, especially around here, just want to play in a band. You know, they want equal glory, and so I'm fine with equal glory, man. I just want to play me tunes and have my ideas listened to, so yeah. Yes, more time signatures. Maybe I'll try and write one with 40 time changes if that makes you happy. And yeah, probably got through all of my questions now. Thank you for those, Harry. Now I shall end the stream. Farewell, humans.